Howdy, guys. Welcome back. It is Say Less Footy time. A couple of weeks since the grand final almost, and what a fantastic game. I haven't been back online since then. Sort of quick recap, and then we're going to talk about the internationals coming up, the Pacific Championship, Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, Fiji, Cook Islands. Um, yeah, what a it's going to be absolutely fantastic, and it's really really good for these tier two nations to put on show just how far they've come and what some absolute superstars of the game coming through the pathways programs there. But first, let's just go back to the grand final now. Well, the grand finals, NRL and NRLW, both games, absolute wow! Like what a whole day! What just everything culminated this year into two absolutely fantastic grand finals. Like, holy dooly. Like, yeah, the underdogs were in front, up by a couple of tries. And then, the reigning champs come back. Nathan Cleary stands up. Tamika Upton stands up. Like, just how well the NRL has, and the NRLW has gone this season. Just, it was almost poetic how just the big stars and just the to and fro of the game and just everything this season for NRL is just absolutely perfect. Look, my team came last. I can't be biased about how well the game of rugby league is going in Australia right now. It was just like everyone you speak to is like, wow, what a grand final. Like both NRL and NRLW were just so exciting. And it was just a beautiful culmination of the whole season. Um, Obviously through the off season, I want to unpack a few teams, maybe all the teams of how their teams went, and maybe like looking forward to 2024. But at the moment, this weekend, the internationals are getting underway. You know, for Australia, so maybe some players been, there's always going to be, hard luck stories of players that missed out. Great stories of who got into the team, namely Dylan Edwards, has finally getting his crack. Obviously, he's going to join that elite class of player that's played for Australia before. They've played for their state, but in my opinion, I think that playing for your country should supersede playing for your state anyway. I mean, it's local, it's state, and then it's international. Like that should be the peak of everything. And I think how well the game of NRL is going in this country and sort of spreading out through the Pacific. I think this Pacific Championship is absolutely fantastic and it's come at the right time. And it's just like us going and playing some couple of games of NRL in Vegas next season. The game is doing so well. It's expanding across the men's and the women's, and it's just so exciting. Obviously, Australia up against Samoa this weekend, and Samoa has an absolutely stacked team. Obviously, missing Jerome Luai, which is sort of if you sort of look at a lot of the Pacific nations, it's they need more pathways around their halves. They've got some really, really exciting, fantastic outside backs, but it's more about and forwards as well. Don't get me wrong. There's so much talent in the forwards. For Tonga, Samoa, PNG, Fiji. Um, I think just obviously a pathways program around some young halves. There are some young halves coming through. Like I obviously think especially for Tonga, you look at Tonga's playing a international friendly against England, and just the young halves that they have in Katoa, obviously a few years away from being an absolute superstar, did so well in his first year of NRL. Um, and then also Fainu, who signed with the Tigers this season on I think it's a 4 or 5 year contract, is going to be an absolute superstar. So you've got to think that Tonga team with the amount of stars they have in their back line and their front row, and then they're developing these young halves. They're going to be an absolute tier one nation very, very soon. This weekend, obviously, we've got the Kangaroos up against Samoa and PNG up against Cook Islands in the men's. And in the women's, we have the Jillaroos up against the Kiwi Ferns and Samoa up against Fiji. Um, I love the fact that they're playing the NRL and NRLW in the same stadium, back to back. I think it's great for the game. It gets more eyes on the women's product, which has been just so good this year. Um, this Australian team is just absolutely fantastic. Obviously, you know, the superstar of the game, Nathan Cleary, sort of played most of the grand final injured. So he's not part of the Australian setup. DCE straight in there, right next to Cam Munster. He's just going to take charge of this team, and obviously Teddy's still the captain at fullback. Dylan Edwards is playing on a wing. I think it's fantastic, and I think he's gonna be doing these strong carries. You're still gonna get a lot of mileage out of Dylan Edwards, and I think he's gonna do a lot of good things for the Kangaroos. The exciting one I want to talk about is the fullback that's been named for Samoa. It's Fa'alogo. We saw him debut against the Broncos in around like round 25 or 26, whenever Melbourne and the Broncos rested all their first team players, and he is absolutely electric. And to be on an international stage like this, I think he's going to do some amazing things. I think the Australians should be very scared and need to mark up on him. Um, Stephen Crichton, Dejan Arce playing in the halves. Look, Arcee's talented. He's still coming through. Stephen Crichton, I don't really think he's a six, but I do like a big body running off the six. I think that a running six is a good six. Gordy, Chan, Kum Tong from Manly, getting a starting spot at hooker there for Samoa. Fantastic. Big Steph and Junior Barlow. There's so much talent in this Samoa team. I could go through all the Australian teams, but it's an absolutely stacked team. Um, that is going to be a fantastic game. The Commonwealth's up against the Cook Islands. There's so much talent across there. Justin Olam's been named an extended reserves bench, is not starting. Obviously, Alex McDonald and Nana McDonald for the Commonwealths. Zach Labert, who was absolutely fantastic in the PNG 13. And his brother Kyle was a superstar in that game. Moves to 5'8", and Lockie Lamb is playing halfback. David Maioli, front row, along with Makatoa from the Parramatta Eels for the Cook Islands. The young hooker from the Tigers, who is yet to crack the first grade, but is just an absolute superstar. And I hope he gets a contract out of this Pacific Championships. Jack DeBellin also lining up for the Commonwealths. Next week, Fiji and the Kiwis get their first crack. Over on the women's, I think the Jillaroos are like their team is just so stacked. So many players unlucky to miss out. A couple of my favorite players are Kyle Whitfield and Tegan Berry. Unlucky to miss out with the Jillaroos, but if you look at their back line of Tamika Upton, Jess Surgis, Isabel Kelly, uh, Jamie Chapman, Julia Robinson, like where are you going to put them? The Kiwi Ferns have some really awesome players. Shanice Parker from the Newcastle Knights, Racy McGregor, and obviously Georgia Hale, absolute just tackling machine and just a born leader. Um, is going to be fantastic for the Kiwi Ferns. That's going to be a great game, and then Samoa up against Fiji for the women on Sunday. Yeah, this is exciting. International footy is back, and this is very important for the game of rugby league. I can't wait to watch these matches this weekend. Definitely get around them. All right, guys, quick recap for the games this weekend. Remembering that the competition goes over the next month, so 3 rounds of teams, 3 rounds of games, and then we have a final series. So obviously, Kangaroos up against Samoa. Samoa's going to play really well, and I'm really excited to see what they can do. But the Kangaroos will get the win here. The Commonwealth's up against Cook Islands. PNG, yeah, got to take that. In the women's, I think the Jillaroos will get the better of the Kiwi Ferns, and I'm tipping Samoa to beat Fiji. Yeah, tune in, watch as much footy as you can, because once we get to November, we're going to be without footy for about 3 months. If you haven't already, Give us a like, subscribe, head on over to our TikTok, our Instagram, and show me some love. Thanks for tuning in. Say less. Peace out. You.